Nothing can harm you as much as your own thoughts unguarded. With these Buddhism quotes, I, Dr. Anubhuti Sharma, wish each one of you a very good morning. Respected distinguished guests, honorable faculty members, and very dear students, we've gathered here today on the World Philosophy Day lecture series, and today's highlight is Buddhism, Philosophy and Ethics.
Actually, I have no quality that qualifies me to actually come here and speak to this actually, the dignified gathering, the learned and accomplished beings. Before starting my talk, it may not be really a talk, so let me chant something. Semjen thamjen lagong rabebeli simse baserab rabel de senzam tepe tashi belbewa dewarshik bagela chaselo chambeshono paldin doji zen chene simongon bo chambe sayening botripa number se namkening bo phakshukun do sang obel doji pekallo sina norbo daware drini mai chasen lenam tashi belgesho jancho sembagela chaselo rin친 독쇼 tashi sergenya de jombomsa yong kamala nyenda dongdam pinso belbeo menobges onju kholo de rin친 dakjo gege chasenji 초디 절와 지진계계 마게송어 렘베벨베 타실라무 젤라 차셀로 창바침보 대중 세메보 믹동된다 절보 일거선 파기보단 루와 밍미상 남체세델 하제 콜로던 트리쇼라당 등등도 제진페om레데 체딩겔센데 사숨네수 갤렉타 시빌 직된 중앙 젤라 차셀로 dakcha dingdir jawa chombalak ekdaniwa chawa kunjini deden belbe samne ishinrup tashi dele phonsum chokbara sho tabge tuji shaje rikso thong singe midub dige pungjomba sergelem bodabar jibego shaje jelbo chela chaselo ujen soling be medong bola jerwe namdo rangjo thingir chenambeje yenden sebarwa bema chungne doe chapji chal jambal jilna bime number 2 jersel haji yanse chusumba kabab dinen bema dongali jamyan kinzi wang borosalwan de chidar jerse chegelo deje nadar jambe de machine samwa senzo hero kabala sarwan de daji jinger rekon chabda bema dongali nime jamyan chegelo dege jutre topden chege jamsola 닝네 솔데 다지 jingelo 상계 최단 속에 초남라 장션발도 당니 접수지 다게 진속에 베스남게 돌라 편절 산지 두발쇼 상의 최단 속에 조남라 장추발도 당니 접수지 다게 진속에 베스남게 돌라 편절 상의 최단 속에 조남라 장추발도 당니 접수지 다게 진속에 베스남게 돌라 편절 산지 두발쇼 샘진 탐진 대화다 대외 주단 덴버 주지 동알단 동알게 주단 저와 주지 동알 메베 대화다 미대화 주지 니링 차단다 대외 땅님 세메 발란네 버 주지 샘진 탐진 대화다 대외 주단 덴버 주지 동알단 동알게 주단 저와 주지 동알 메베 대화다 미대화 주지 니링 차단다 대외 땅님 세메 발란네 버 주지 샘진 탐진 대화다 대외 주단 덴버 주지 동알단 동알게 주단 저와 동알 메베 대화다 미대화 주지 니링 차단다 대외 땅님 세메 발란네 버 주루지 I will read out this. I think it is translated into English. The one shloka that I recited in Tibetan. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment and anger that holds some close and others distant. So to talk about Buddhist ethics, I think it has strong relation with Gautam Buddha. So 2600 years ago, there lived a prince called Siddhartha Gautama. And he was a son of Shuddhodana, the king. His kingdom was in somewhere in Nepal and Indian border. I think this day it is on the Nepal side, the Shakya clan, the Shakya kingdom. And the prince Siddhartha Gautama, at the age of 29, he left the palace. He left the palace triggered by the suffering, the dukkha, the suffering of old age, sickness, death, and many other disappointments. And he left the palace so that he wanted to look for the solution for these problems. He left at the age of 29 and he studied, contemplated, and practiced, and by the age of 35, he achieved enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, present day in Bihar. Enlightenment means like he found the solution at the age of 35, which means like he saw the things or he experienced the things as how they really are. So after his enlightenment, officially it is said he went to Varanasi, Sarnath, and shared his wisdom, the solution with other people. Officially it is said his first five disciples. And there what he said, the first he said was, no dukkha, or know the suffering, or know that there is dissatisfaction, know that there is disappointment. And another one he taught the gathering there was, abandon the origin of dukkha or suffering. Because once you actually recognize what is bothering you, actually what you will do is you will look for its origin. What is bothering me? From where this pain is coming from? So the third one he said was, actualize or realize the cessation of dukkha. Actualize or the end of dukkha, suffering. So what will happen is, first you will know that you have the problem, and you will look for what is causing that problem. And also once you find the origin of the problem, you will actually try to cut the root of the problem, and as a result, so you will have no problem. That is the cessation of problem. So cessation of dukkha in a simple way. And the fourth one he told was like, cultivate the path that leads to the cessation of suffering. For example, if you have headache, so you have to know that you have a headache. And because you have the headache, so you will look for the solution or origin of headache. What is really causing you the headache? And you might find like it is because of too much exposure to the sun. The origin of your headache problem is too much exposure to the strong sun. Then what will you do to counter as antidote to the origin of your pain, the headache? Then either you might take Panadol, PCM, painkiller, or you might avoid going into the sun for a longer period of time. So this is called the path, the cultivation of path which leads to the cessation of your headache. But here, the cultivation of the path which leads to the cessation of your suffering. So this is called actually Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. Why it is called Four Noble Truths? Because these four truths are actually directly experienced or seen by the noble beings, or whoever actually directly experience and sees these four noble truths can be called noble beings. You can be one among the noble beings, or it is called Arya, no? In Sanskrit and in Pali it is called Arya, or sublime beings. So to overcome the ignorance, so to here the origin of suffering, actually the origin of suffering that we have, the death, sickness, disappointment, and like relationship between friends not not being cordial with parents and children in the community. There are many problems. Actually, all the problems is rooted in ignorance, avidya, not knowing the truth. Vidya is knowing, right? Avidya is not knowing. So usually when I talk about Vidya, there is one actress that comes to my mind, Vidya Balan. Like she has such a good name, the Vidya. So the ignorance, what is the ignorance? Not knowing the things or not seeing the things as how they really are. This is called ignorance or avidya in Buddha Dharma. So the fundamental ignorance that we have is actually we think that so-called I exist truly. So-called me, ultimately we think that so-called me exists truly. So actually from there all the problems comes up. Important me. Actually this is the culprit of our dukkha. So this is the ignorance. So in order to counter ignorance, actually Buddha Dharma has three trainings. The training of Shila, the ethics, Samadhi, the concentration, and the prajna or pragya, the wisdom. So there are three trainings that if you want to become Buddha, you can become, but you have to go through this training. Since I was told to speak on the first one, Shila, the ethics, so I will try to dwell on Shila, the ethics, the first one. Actually, these three are not really contradictory, they are intertwined. And actually the Shila, I think it's a Sanskrit word. When it is translated into Tibetan, we say Dhunga silver jepa, means if you have ethics, what happens is it brings cooling effect to your burning mind. If you actually have the good conduct, if you have the Shila, if you have this discipline, actually it brings cooling effect or the soothing effect to your mind. How? Because somebody who has the Shila, the conduct, good conduct, will not get angry, no? So when you are able to restrain yourself from anger, then you have the cooling effect. Because somebody who is angry is burning. Where there is anger, it burns there. Where there is jealousy, it is burning there. There is no peace. But if you have ethics that counter anger, jealousy, attachment, then you will have the soothing effect. So Shila will actually bring soothing effect in us. So what is Buddhist ethics, by the way? And Buddhist ethics are not, not really black and white. Like you can do this 5 times, you can do this 10 times. It is not like that. It's not really black and white. It's very complicated. So any conduct that helps you to directly or indirectly see the things as how they are is actually Buddhist wholesome conduct. It can be seemingly unwholesome, but if that takes you towards seeing the things as how they are, if it helps you to realize the truth, then that is actually Buddhist ethics. Or we can say, if our conduct are in harmony with the conduct of the sublime beings, such as, not killing. Sublime beings will not kill, no? Like good beings will not, noble beings will not kill. But again, there is dispute. You can debate at the end if you want. And also not stealing, okay? Not stealing. It can be, not stealing can be in harmony with the conduct of noble beings, and also like not committing adultery, etc. So, generally, of course, for the general, generally there are actually 10 ethics or 10 conduct that we usually talk about, like 10 virtues and 10 non-virtuous conduct. Like the first one is the non-virtue conduct that we have to avoid generally, okay? Generally is, you have to avoid killing because it deprives someone of their life, someone of their existence. And stealing. So no one wants to be killed, None of us want to be killed. So why kill others, no? So we should not kill because we deprive others of their existence. Stealing, we should not steal because it deprives others of their, wealth, property. Do you want your wealth, your property to be stolen? Do you want to be deprived of your wealth? No. So others are also same. So sexual misconduct means you don't want to be betrayed, no? You can't betray others. Telling lie, of course, no one will trust you if you tell lie. The people will say he or she is a habitual liar, no? So even when you tell the truth, then they will not believe you because of the lies that you told before. And divisive speech. Divisive speech means like if there are, if your words cause division between the people or group, so we have to refrain. Even though it might be truth, but if you think telling the truth will divide people, the community, and the good relationship among the people, actually you have to be skillful. And harsh words. Harsh words, of course, we don't want to hear harsh words, no? Who doesn't like hearing polite words? Another one is meaningless gossip. Actually, Buddha Dharma thinks like meaningless gossip is just a waste of life and time. So instead of meaningless gossip, we can engage in fruitful conversations. Another is covetousness. Covetousness means wanting something that you don't have. Want to possess something that others have. And another is ill will, means like the intention to harm others. The moment you have the intention to harm others, actually it unsettles you. It unsettles you and you will have no peace. And the 10th one is, I think, the wrong view. The wrong view is like the wrong thinking, no? Wrong thinking, like if you think like you can have a peaceful life by exploiting others, by suppressing others, then that is the wrong view on the relative level. The ultimate wrong view is actually thinking that there is no nirvana by following Buddha Dharma. If you think that nirvana is impossible, Buddhahood is impossible, then that is the wrong view. So this is for general, but I don't think like parents out of compassionate intention to like correct the children, to put the children on the right path using harsh words or by teachers may not necessarily be the non-virtue, because it is intended by wholesome intention. So that's why like Buddhist ethics are not really in black and white. So you have to be familiar, and so you have to be, it depends on how savvy you are and how well informed you are. And in Buddha Dharma, there are actually two groups. Actually, in Buddha Dharma also there can be people who just want to have good life in this life, and who really want to achieve enlightenment. So among the group of people who really want to achieve enlightenment, there are two groups. The one who practice Buddha Dharma for the liberation of oneself, mainly for oneself. Priority is to liberate oneself. This is called Shravakayana. And there is another group of people who practice Buddha Dharma mainly for the enlightenment of others. Their priority is others' enlightenment. There are two groups. And actually the later one who practice Buddha Dharma for the enlightenment of others is called Bodhisattvas, or their path is called Bodhisattvayana. So for the Bodhisattvayana, actually there are three disciplines or three ethics. It can be condensed into three ethics, three groups, like the ethic or the discipline of avoiding negativity first. Another one is the discipline of accumulating virtue, and the third one is the discipline of helping others. So first one, it applies to beginners, because in the beginning you have to restrain yourself from harming others, no? And slowly, once you have the ability to restrain your senses from harming others, then you can emphasize on accumulating merit. And then once you are matured enough, and also once actually you are able to see the things as how they really are, then you can emphasize on benefiting others. For example, there was, it is a Buddhist story, there was once a Captain Compassionate. I think in ancient India, people used to go into the ocean to collect precious stones, precious jewels into the ocean. So there was once this Captain Compassionate, and he had, I think, 501 passengers or the sailors with him. And it is said all the sailors were bodhisattvas, great bodhisattvas, and only one person was not bodhisattva. And actually that person had the intention, actually he had definite plan to murder all the bodhisattvas, all 500 bodhisattvas, and rob their things. This is that one person had, who was not bodhisattva. So then that Captain Compassionate actually must have had the clairvoyance, the ability to read that person's mind. So he knew that he was actually going to kill all other 500 bodhisattvas, and what will happen to that person if he kills 500 bodhisattvas. So he will have the grave consequences, meaning for eons and eons he will not see the truth. He will not encounter the path that will help him to see the truth and get liberated. So what he did, because he thought like, it's okay if I, as a result of me killing that one person, if I experience the countless hells and all like hellish experience, I am ready. This is what his decision was. But he didn't want that person to face the consequence of killing 500 bodhisattvas. So what he did, he killed that person who was he was intending to kill actually 500 bodhisattvas. So as a result, what happened? It is said that Captain Compassionate actually accumulated a huge merit that actually sped up his journey towards Buddhahood. So see, so Buddhist ethics is not really in black and white. So we have to be well informed. It depends on your intention and also the level of your realization also. And also there is another set of Buddhist practice that even non-Buddhists can also practice, which we call four immeasurables, immeasurable thoughts. The first is loving kindness, second is compassion, the third is joy, and the fourth is equanimity. Actually, the one I read, no, this one is actually, this is the four immeasurable thought. The first one is like the loving kindness is wishing all the sentient beings happiness and the causes of happiness. Actually, if you really want to be happy, actually you better practice this. But if you don't want to be happy, then it's up to you. Actually, why we have pain, why we have suffering? It's because we want too much happiness only for ourselves. This is the culprit. And also like the reason is why we want too much for ourselves, not for others, is because we are not able to equalize others with ourselves. We are not giving equal importance to others like how we give importance to others, ourselves. Because every time so me come fast, no? We have to, but this may not be, because this is not our second nature, so we have to practice. Means we have to get used to, we have to get familiarized with it. Means this is called meditation. In Buddha Dharma, meditation, what does meditation? But it is English word, I don't know what it really means. Meditation in Buddha Dharma, it comes from the word dhyan, no? Dhyan, attention. Dhyan, from dhyan will come gyan, right? Gyan, prajna. From the concentration will come wisdom. So the word meditation, when it is translated into Tibetan, it is called gom, means to get used to get familiarized with. So because this giving equal importance to others may not be our first, second nature, so we have to get used to, and slow. In the beginning, it will look like faking it or make believe, but it is not impossible. And slowly, because like I want happiness, like to start, you may start with your dearest ones. Like you want your dearest ones to be happy, no? Your nearest ones. Then slowly again you can spread far and wide, because all are sentient beings. They have feelings, and they equally want happiness and do not want suffering like every one of us. So once we are able to equalize, and once we are able to give equal importance to others also, then actually happiness will come to you. I think there will be no time when you will not be happy, no? What will happen? First now you have equalized, no? Like others are so important like me. So when somebody is happy, then you will be actually happy. Why? Because you wanted others to be happy. And seeing somebody being happy is actually fulfilling your wish. So this is called again the third one, the joy. Means like from the moment you are able to actually appreciate, rejoice others' happiness, others having good time, others having promotion, others having good health, others having good relationship, others having good business. And there are, of course, there are wars, famine in this world, but there are also many good things happening around us. Like somebody having good health, You can rejoice and be happy. And some, animals having good food, good shelter, and some human beings having good youth, beautiful, handsome. So if we can actually really rejoice on others' happiness, then actually there will be no time actually when we will not be happy. And also the being, this rejoice, what happens, rejoicing at others' happiness, what happens is, it counters our jealousy. You will have no jealousy, because you always wanted others to be happy, others to have good health, others to have good job. So when it really happens, you will be happy, you will have no jealousy. As a result, when you have no jealousy and no anger, there will be no burning in you, in us. So at the end of the day, Nagarjuna, the great scholar, he actually summed up the Buddhist ethics by saying, anything, any action that is generated by anger, attachment and ignorance is unwholesome. And any action that is generated by non-attachment, non-anger and non-ignorance, which is wisdom, is actually virtuous or wholesome. And also Buddha in his Vinaya Sutra, in the sutra, remarked or taught that commit not a single unwholesome action, cultivate a wealth of virtue, tame completely this mind of ours. This is the teaching of Buddha. So this ends my talk, and I think I didn't waste your time. Thank you. I don't know whether you want to, meditation? I don't know, like if you want to, experience some meditation, like you can stay here. If you want to, if you don't want to, then you can leave. You can still, sit on the chair, and we'll do just 3 minutes.
Acharyaji, you mentioned that we should...
Oh, sorry, sir. Like, wait. I don't think we have enough time for question and answer, no? But if we have time, we could do question and answer also. Because me speaking, yeah.
Just one question.
Okay.
You mentioned that we should not be angry. Do you think it's possible? Because sometimes, we are constantly being provoked also.
Yes.
Sometimes you are constantly being provoked. So what to do? How to avoid anger when one is being put into a tight corner and one is forced to shout and scream? I think many of us don't want to acknowledge this, but we all do it sometimes.
Yeah.
So how to fight that?
I think the best and the direct solution is to just watch. Watch means this may not happen immediately, but because anger is such a strong emotion, the moment it arises, it unsettles us, and actually you become aware. The moment you are angry, you become aware. The best thing you can do is just be aware of the anger, means don't play with it. What happens? By nature, anger is a transitory emotion, impermanent emotion. So what happens is it rises, of course, it rises in your mind and it disappears away within few seconds. Just watch. Means like the meditation we are going to do. First we might do breathing. What happens is when you do breathing meditation again and again, it develops concentration. When you have the concentration, then you have the ability to watch any kinds of emotion. and the easiest one is the anger. So yeah, you can just watch and let it be. Means like, don't translate that into action or speech. If you just watch, it is impermanent, it goes away. Another time it might come, just be aware, just watch, it goes. In this way, you become a sane and sober person.
Thank you, Acharya. This calls for a lot of practice, I'm sure, but eventually one can reach that goal.
Yeah, like because we say all the sentient beings, all the human beings, sentient beings are Buddha by nature. So it's impossible for everyone. Oh, no, possible for everyone. Sorry. Do you have question? Okay, she has the question.
Sir, my question is it possible? My question is it possible to achieve enlightenment while pursuing materialistic pleasure?
Yes. Yes, it is equally possible for monks and non-monks. Only thing is, actually you have to know the path. Because it is said, Buddha taught 84,000 ways for sentient beings to achieve enlightenment, to become Buddha. So you can choose just one. So in the past also there were many lay people, many business people, many, like maybe soldiers also, like who actually achieved enlightenment. So yeah, it is possible.
Also, I have another stupid question I might say. I come from Dharamshala, so I'm quite used to the monasteries and everything. So stupid question I do have is, what is the significance of your attire?
Attire?
Yeah.
It is just uniform. It is just a uniform, and I think during Buddha's time, Buddha recommended certain colors to differentiate from like other traditions. So it is this attire doesn't really erase away your negative emotion. It is the practice. So this is it.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I have a question that came to my mind is that are there any good desires or any good attachment that we can have?
Yes, desire to desire to get rid of desire is a good desire.
Oh, so then not all desire is bad.
Yeah, not all desire is bad. Like you first know that I have desire and this desire is bothering me. Now I want to get rid of this desire. So the desire to get rid of the useless desire is a good desire.
Hello. Sir, I wanted to ask that in the end of your session, you talked about us. We should try to be altruistic, right?
Altruistic, yes, altruistic, yeah.
But
Okay.
don't you think that it's way too much ethical for the world in the real world for being altruistic? I'm no mean to offend, but
No, like it's okay. Too much ethical.
no, I mean like you said, we should try to be happy for others.
Yeah. If you want happiness for yourself, then best way is to be happy at others. Yes, because wanting too much happiness only for ourselves is giving us pain. Now we have understood that.
But how to implement in the real world, right?
In the real world, actually, you see many happy beings, no? So you can contemplate that, like you can put yourself in that person's shoes.
Empathy.
Person's shoes and think from that his or her angle. And actually it is not impossible. But in the beginning, of course, we might think it is like impossible. But that's why there is so-called meditation, that we have to get used to, but like every few seconds a day. Because why we don't have peace is because our mind is not resting, okay? Our mind is wandering all the time, planning future, what happened in the past, and also like after the sense pleasure of the present. So we are going to give our mind a resting place. That is breathing. Breathing is a common. It is not Buddhist exclusive. It is common for, like, I think almost all the traditions that were born in India, actually, they talk about meditation, the jhanas, different jhanas. Now we are going to give a resting place to our mind. That is breathing, which means we'll just breathe, and like as your breath goes out, just be aware of breath. As you breathe in, just be aware of breath. See, in this way we will try to relax, we will try to rest. This is called shamatha, means calm abiding. Calm abiding means like coming from wandering in the past, future, and after sense pleasure, and also abiding to a chosen object, which is breath now. Breath is not the only object you can choose. You can choose any object, but we are going to choose the breathing now. So at the end of, we are going to do 3 minutes, right? So after 3 minutes, we will stop. So before we start, let us figure out whether we are breathing or not. Breathe normally and fully and rest your mind on breathing. Okay, let's start now. Time up. Okay, that's it. If you became aware that your mind was not really on breathing, then you have done the meditation. If you knew that your mind was not really on the breathing, that your mind was wandering, thinking something other than breathing, then actually this is the good experience of meditation. That means you are really doing the meditation. So what will happen is, in the beginning you will know it is wandering. Slowly, you are not supposed to actually stop the thought. You can let thought, but at the same time you have to be aware that it is thinking other than your breathing. For me, what happened just now, okay? When I was trying to focus my mind on breathing, I thought of your principal going to Punjab University. because I met her before I came here. Then again I brought back to my breathing. Again I thought of then this is how happens to the beginners. Okay, that's all. And thank you for being here.